So Blue Beetle was a massive disaster for DC, and that has led people with many questions.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Is there bad movie fatigue, or is there superhero movie fatigue? And the answer undoubtedly has to be that there is a massive case of superhero fatigue in Hollywood right now.
Well, duh.
Because Blue Beetle could have been just an average forgettable superhero movie that has been written over and over for decades. Instead, it was a disastrous attempt at representation that will be forgotten even faster, because the way this movie is performing at the box office shows how many people are actively searching for representation in their superhero movies. If you couldn't catch the representation in this movie, whether you didn't care or you didn't watch the movie, Blue Beetle is Latino, and this is the first ever mainstream Latino superhero film, but it's also the first ever mainstream Latino superhero film to be the second worst opening in the entire DCEU. It barely beat out Wonder Woman 1984, which had a day-and-day release during the pandemic on then HBO Max. Blue Beetle's performance at the box office has undoubtedly confirmed the bigger problem between DC or Marvel. It's that superhero movies are dead.
Oh my god! Wow!
Are you serious?
The fatigue is real, and it's all because of the horrendous garbage that we've been getting from Marvel and DC. The bigger question is that who created this superhero fatigue, and it has to be Marvel, because they've produced triple the amount of content that DC has the last few years, and it's all garbage except for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Every time Marvel comes out with something, it does worse than the last, because every Marvel product has been getting worse and worse. Each D+ show has deteriorated in viewership since She-Hulk, because that's when people started checking out. But the one thing that could be the worst thing Marvel has ever done is The Marvels, a movie that has been delayed several times because they know it's hot trash. It's gone through several name changes as well, because the original name was Captain Marvel 2. But I can't wait for this movie. It's going to be a glorified mess of a movie, and Brie Larson easily looks like the best part of the movie. The Marvels releases in November, and it can't come soon enough. But in all seriousness, the reason we are seeing superhero movie fatigue is because we've seen 20 to 30 terrible superhero movies in a row. Now you are seeing people branch out into what's hot, and those movies are doing fantastic. Mario and Barbie are two prime examples. The reason they are so successful was because it was an event to see that movie. And if you didn't watch those movies in theaters, it felt like you were missing out. They were also well-executed movies that capitalized on their target audiences. We are not seeing that with superhero movies right now. The entire movies are being shot with a green screen, and not only that, they look terrible. And the writing is trash, along with the entire execution. Superhero movies have never been this low in a long time. It was just a few short years ago where they were a must-see with Infinity War and Endgame back-to-back. They've fallen so far since then, and who knows if they will ever be back.